Well, hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7 Around 7. We are 7 a.m. Right on the dot this morning. Our start time out here on the, out here in the West Coast. Rancho Mirage, California, the Southern California desert, Mission Hills Country Club. Got a little breeze going on this morning, but looks like it's going to be another beautiful day out here. Looking forward to a hit on the grass this morning, right around 9 o'clock. And get a little work done this morning, right? A little practice session. Looking forward to that. Guys, what we're going to work on today is exactly what that image says. They're winning the 20-80 ratio reality. And I've recently been rereading the great Dr. Alan Fox's book, Tennis, Winning the Mental Match. And so obviously with that title, it's really geared towards, how do we get control of the mental part of the game? But there's a great chapter in there about practice and about practicing smart, as opposed to just throwing in hours upon hours of just going into it, right? And really not getting, you're getting something done. Maybe if nothing else, you could be working on technique, but maybe you're not working on the right thing. Maybe you're working on too many things at the same time. But if you're practicing that much, then, you're going to get a little bit better, even if you're not working on the right stuff, even if you're not focused on the right stuff. If nothing else, it's a great fitness opportunity sometimes. But I want to kind of break this down for you in terms of what I have always thought and what Dr. Fox's book in this chapter about practice really kind of confirmed for me is the 20-80 ratio of being able to get better at something. And so look, the 20% is the information that you're receiving, right? It could be an on-court teaching pro. It could be an online teaching pro. It could be a book. It could be a video. Whatever the instructional information is, in terms of you actually making changes in your game, where those changes become automated, right? You put in so much time that they become automated. The information you get is only 20% of the entire improvement process. The other 80%, guess what, is up to you. The other 80% is number one is committing to who or what, again, who a pro, who or what a book, a video, whatever it is, but you committing long-term to that thing and not going out there and going, today I want to kind of tinker on my topspin second serve. And you go to YouTube and you kind of hunt around and you find something, you go, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And you got to try it and don't really get it. It doesn't really work. And then you come back and that afternoon you go back to YouTube and you find something else. Well, that's obviously not a recipe for being able to improve, for example, that topspin second serve. So my point here is that you've got to find the right information. You got to be smart enough to be able to, to weave your way around all the hype and all the garbage out there that's being thrown your way. And be able to find the information that's actually based on true fundamentals. So that's 20% of it, right? Is getting the information, and the other 80% is you just putting in the time. Most players don't do this. I'm sorry. Most players have it flipped. They're spending 80% of their time trying to dig in and find the next golden nugget, trying to find the next magic bullet. And then 20% of the time they're kind of tinkering with it. And it's not getting ingrained. It's not getting automated. So an example from yesterday, yesterday I asked you, do you actually really trust your rally ball? Do you or not? A lot of players don't, right? And the reason they don't is because they're not willing to put in the time that's required to be able to ingrain each one of the fundamentals in a standard rally ball. I can't remember who it was, but someone made a comment on YouTube yesterday about yesterday's episode. And my response was, well, let's break it down. If you want to talk about a rally ball in general, it could be a forehand, could be a backhand. If you want to be consistent with it, and if you want to trust it, then what are 3 parts? What are 3 fundamentals of that rally ball that you have to master? You can't just YouTube it and cherry pick this, cherry pick that, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got it. No, I mean, I threw out 3 what I think are fundamentals. Number 1 would be spacing. Are you consistent with your spacing, right? Are you putting in the time the next 30 days, and all you're doing is you're getting bored to death working on spacing and not going for 15 minutes on spacing? Oh, I'm all gung-ho. I'm going to go out there today. I got my 3 things, and I'm going to work on these 3 things. In the first 10 or 15 minutes, you work on spacing, you get bored, and then you move on to something else. Guess what? Those 15 minutes have not ingrained it into you. It's not become habitual. It's not become automated. And so why not take the next 30 days and work like a dog, whether it's on the backboard, whether it's on a ball machine, whether it's someone underhand feeding you balls, whether you're doing some drills with a practice partner, whether you're on the court with a teaching pro, whether you're playing some practice sets and having the guts in those practice sets to lose because you're not playing by instinct, by feel. You're actually playing by, you're consciously thinking of, I got to get that right spatial distance every time on my rally ball. And that's all you do for the next 30 days. In 30 days, if you really commit yourself to doing it, you've spent 20% of the time getting the information about, well, what is spacing? What is the right spatial distance away from the path of that incoming ball that I've got to have great footwork on so that I'm consistent with it in terms of the spatial distance away from the path of the ball when I go ahead and swing, right? And if you're inconsistent with your spacing, then you have to improvise stroke technique. And once you improvise stroke technique, sure, you're going to be able to get a few balls back in play by doing that. But in the end, you're going to have no confidence. It's just not going to work out long term. So you take the first 30 days. Today is what? Today's April 21st. So you take the next month, right, until May 21st, and that's all you work on. Who's got the guts to do that? I don't know. We'll find out. What's the second thing? What's the second 30 days? What's the second month? Making sure that you allow the ball to get into, assuming you've got the spacing right, then allowing the ball to get into your perfect contact area and receive it, not fight it. Learn how to not fight the ball, but learn how to receive the ball, right? And like, I mean, sometimes I'll take a ball and I'll underhand it. I'll underhand feed it. Good morning, Jeff. By the way, you're not getting off the hook, Mr. Jacklich. We're going to get you on here to talk about your Wilson tournament, which, by the way, great effort. But we want to get your take on it. But sometimes what I'll do, if I find someone's really fighting the ball, is I'll say, if it's a right-handed player, I'll just say, hey, put your racket in your left hand for a second. And I get about 10 feet away from him, take a tennis ball, and I say, all I want you to do is just catch this ball in your right hand. And so I just underhand feed it to them, and they just wait, right? They just catch it as they normally would. They're not way out in front with a straight arm. They're not fighting get to the ball too soon when they catch it. It's the same thing with a point of contact. And ironically, we got Jeff here. He's always saying, you've got to be able to make contact from a stable platform, right? If you're fighting the tennis ball at contact, the chances are you're too early and you're probably slightly off balance. You're going to be inconsistent as a shot maker when you do that. So the second 30 days is only based on, as Jeff said, the mind-numbing repetition of tinkering with what is your ideal point of contact, right? Mine might be different than Jeff's. Jeff's is different than yours. Doesn't matter, right? Everyone's got their own unique physiology and swing shape, grip shape, racket type, all this stuff. So it doesn't matter. I can't tell you what is exactly the right point of contact for you. You got to go out for 30 days, find it. You'll find it within the first couple of days of being able to have the right spacing. And you're just going to feel it when, oh boy, that one felt right. I was on balance, had great posture, and the ball just left on its own. Kind of that sneaky power, right? And so that would take you until June 21st, right? And now for the next 30 days, so we've gone through spacing, we've gone through contact point. Why can't we now work on what's a real controllable height over the top of that net, right? What's I don't know. That's your target. Rather than thinking a spot over there, what's your target that's a spot above the top of the net? Can you work for the next 30 days? This would be the third 30 days. This is going to take you until July 21st, right? Where now all that you're thinking about, because you've ingrained the first 30 days, which is spacing. The second 30 days is contact. Now all you're working on is what's the height above the top of the net that equates to a ball that ends up landing back there that's right in the middle third of the court. Your opponent's going to be able to make a play on it. That's okay. And do you have the guts to get, as Jeff said, mind-numbing repetition on it, so that by July 21st, 90 days from now, you've actually done the 80% of the work, rather than looking for some guy, hey, man, can you just give me the silver bullet? No, 20% is the information, 80% is what we just talked about, right, is on that rally ball. For example, going out there and breaking down, well, what are 3 fundamentals that I've got to be able to do on every rally ball to be consistent so I have confidence, so that it's not, hey, let's be honest, do you really trust your rally ball? I'm telling you, 95% of the players, if they're honest, don't. And that's only because they're not putting in that 80% of the work. So if you arrive to July 21st and you've done the work, you're going to win. You're going to win more matches with that as a strategy. I'm not saying that's your only strategy, but until you get a fat, chubby offensive opportunity, which don't come along very often, right? You've got to earn it. Is why not turn, as Dr. Fox says, the middle game, right? It's not offense, it's not defense, it's the middle game. It's the standard rally ball that is going to produce a lot of offensive opportunities for you. But if you don't put in these 90 days, I'm sorry, it's never going to happen. And you talk about frustration, you talk about low confidence, you talk about a big old fat, wide skill level range, rough. So guys, look, 20% is the information, 80% is up to you getting out there and doing it. And if you're looking for a teaching pro that, you go to one guy, he doesn't help you. You go to someone else, he doesn't help you. She doesn't, whatever. And you keep looking around. Never gonna happen. Same thing with all these online videos, all the hype, all that baloney. You've got to be smart enough to figure out. I got to get with someone either on person or someone on a video or whatever it is that really knows their stuff and is not blowing smoke at you, right? So the big O. For those in the desert, I have a portable ball machine and will agree to drill spacing 1 day a week with you on grass in the morning. Right on. For those in the desert, I have a portable ball machine and will agree to drill spacing 1 day a week with you on the grass in the morning. All right, good. I know the O will do it. He's got a few things to work on. But look, I know that he'll put the time in, and you too. I mean, you just got to do this. And so, I don't know. I could ramble on forever about this. We're at 14 minutes. We've gone twice to 7. So that's it. Guys, would love to get your take on today's topic, the winning the 80-20 or the 20-80 ratio reality. As you can see in the picture there, which I took, I don't know, a couple of years ago out here in the grass courts, bunch of tennis balls. I've got the bag there. I like to go out in the grass here around 2 p.m. Nobody, you could blow a cannon through there and nothing, right? But it's warm. There's no one around. I take the phone, crank up the music, get it going. And, in this case here with the balls, I'll hit my 25 serves to the ad court, run over there, pick them up, come back, do a few sprints, do a couple of core things, and then, I'll hit 25 serves to the other side. So that's it. Want to hear from you down below in the comments area. What's on your mind? You can direct message me at Facebook, or you can shoot me email, brent@webtennis.com. All right. That's me, man. I'm here to deliver the doses of reality, not here to, oh my gosh, here's how to, serve 120. Anyway, stop me. All right, guys, that's it. It's time. We all got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again next time.